Hello friend, welcome to my channel. Today we are discuss the Django OAuth Toolkit. First I would like to thank you to watching my videos. Please subscribe if you not subscribed and also share your friends and also feedback that any feedback to that particular videos we can motivate it and we can lot of features related Django's and Python related features we can deploy in my channel also. Now, first, what is a OAuth toolkit? The OAuth toolkit basically has a, if you have any API access to the Django, is required a username and password. That also required the Django authentication. That basically we are using the key like as a token. That token basically we generate using there is a various methods here that just like AWS token there's or token there. We now here we discuss or token. Okay. Uh, First of all, what basically flow in that or token? Whenever the client access any API, this is for basically as a API. When you access any API, we require a token. That token will be getting from the auth user. The auth user in that we has a basically the client ID and secret ID based on we create a token. Every user has a different tokens there. The every user can access that token and that token will be passed it to the API and then he get the information that like manner. Suppose that token is expired, then we can refresh that token, we regenerate the token and then again we pass it to the API and we get the information. The token just token is basically there is a some expiration time is also there, means sometime he will be expire. Usually is a 10 minutes is time is there by default, but if you can increase also. Okay, now we here we discuss first of all how to set up the auth in the Django. Then auth application creation means how to create an application just like has a client key and secret key based on we create a token. Then we also create a how to create a token. Then also we how to refresh that token, and there is a barrier token, basically the barrier token how to use in API. When we access the any API that time how to pass it, that also we discuss here. Okay, we move back to my code. Now here, this is a simple Django structure. It is a Django applications and Django projects, main projects, and it is a application. First, we move to the setting.py file. Okay, when first you install the Django auth toolkit, this package first we install. Just like a command is pip install Django auth toolkit. After that, you can add that package in installation app here. You can go to here and you can add it here, the auth provider. Okay, and also you can add the cross headers because this is a we access the API in outside also, that also we discuss here. Okay, the two packages will be added here, and the REST framework also if you add it because we access REST API, that API will be added here also. Okay, and then after that you can add it these five lines basically. The cross origin allow is true, and cross allow credential also true, and which method we access the get post put and delete options, that method we access, that also we mention it here also. And then we move to the uh, this where this is a auth provider. This like basically has a scope, means how you read that particular API, you write the API, yeah, you create any specific group, that related permissions we can access here, and this is a read scope and write scope and access to the group also. Then now after that, whenever you access any REST API, we usually all the REST API has a ease authentication, means is required authentication. Now also we here also we are using allow any, means anyone can access, but we can added has a authentication, means we require a token. If you some API will be without token will be accessed, and some API will required authentication. That's why we added that configuration. So that also we can add it here. Okay, and this is also we added. There is a two methods there: is authentication and allow ini. And this is a basic authentication and session authentication that also there. You can create a custom permission also. We can add. You can create it. Yeah, by default you can means the by default is allow ini as is authentication is two permissions there. Okay, now then after that you can added a URL. Okay, that URL basically has a main the application main project. In that you can add as the URL, the URL path o slash include auth provider URL, and this is a namespace. This is a default syntax is there. You can add it here. Okay, then after we can move to the here, and here we create a two API. One has a user and second as a R token. User will get the all user information. Okay, and R token will be refresh the token. Okay, and login logout that also there. Okay, because we can access user in Django application and outside the environment also. Okay, that we can two thing we can discuss in now also. Okay, now we move to the view.py. Here, there is a two thing we can discuss. First, whenever any user log in, he can get the token. How to get token? That's that time we can require a username and password. That based on we can first authorize कि that particular user has authorized or not. If you authorize, then that particular user is active or not. Okay, that also we check, and then we create token whenever we access the token. This is a one method is there, access token. In that user wise token will be stored here in that table. Now here we pass as a user and time. Okay, I already said the every token has a specific expiration time is there. That's why we check the particular current time. This is a current time will be greater than expire time. If is there, then we can access the token, and if is not there, then we check the application in that particular user wise application is created or not. Okay, whenever you use the auth toolkit, that time first you create the application, then you create a token application. In that we specified the client ID and secret ID. We can get that particular information we system will be generated, and that based on we create a token. Okay, now here we first create the application. We first check that application is already created or not, that particular user. If not, then we create that user application, and then we application based on we can filter out, and we get the token ID. Okay, we get the client ID and secret ID. Okay, suppose if we created already, then we get the client ID and secret ID. And now here we create a URL. This is a default URL, the o slash token. Okay, and that URL we pass it as a dictionary. In that dictionary we pass as a key, has a grant type, basically as a password. Username has a login, whenever use any login, that username and password. And now also client ID and client secret ID. That dictionary will pass it to the that URL, and URL will be get to the JSON. The JSON like has a access token key and expiry date, like in that JSON will be mentioned it. That JSON, in that we get only access token, and that access token will be show it in a login page. That also we show it. We can go to that here, and suppose this is a login page. Okay, uh, whenever we suppose we are in login, then we get the here the token. This is my token ID. Okay, this is my token ID, and then that code will be discussed now. Okay, this here already. Now we uh, move to the user list. Okay, the user list, in that he basically has a list create API view, and we here has a is authentication, because we require the authentication, and also we require a token. The token has a read write scope. Okay, and then we access the query set user dot object and serializer. Oh, now suppose that you are suppose you access, you can go to the postman, and suppose if you has access that URL user URL, and suppose if you are not mention the we can remove here. Okay, now Suppose if you run access that URL, then he said that authentication credential were not provided because you not pass it as a token, because token is required. Okay, now you can add authentication, authorizations, and barrier, and we copy this token because that user can access this API. Okay, after that we submit, then he get the data. These are two users are admin and Sanket. This is required a token. That's why we required a token. Okay, now we move to the basically the token refresh. Suppose any user access the token and that token will be expired. Now how to generate a token in outside the user? That time we create a one request, just like one API. That API has a R token, and R token in that we can pass it as a ID and client ID and client secret ID. Three data is required. First as a user ID, second as a client ID, and client secret ID. Okay. Then if you pass it that value, then you can access the you get the refresh token, is you get the new token. Okay, and that token will be here. And suppose if you that token will be copy, and you can copy and you can pass it here also. Okay, then that you can access it, data will be accepted because it is a fresh token ID. Okay, that's why that code will be written down here. We create a API and we check that first. We get the first data will be required first as a user ID, client ID, and secret ID. Then user ID, based on we check first the refresh token is there or not. If there, then we get the refresh token. That particular, this is a one table in that we store the refresh token, means store the token, refresh token. There's a two token is there, access token and refresh token. Access token will be stored in a access token table, and refresh token will be stored in a refresh table. And in both the table we store user ID. That's why whenever you refresh any token, first you check the refresh token in that token is there or not. If is there, then you can get the token. And here we can has a generate the token, new token generate. That's why we call to that particular API o dot token, and we can pass it as a different dictionary. This is a different dictionary. Okay, here the grant type has a refresh token, not a password. This is a refresh token, and client ID and client secret ID and the refresh token will be passed it here. That after that we request will be hit and data will be passed, and we get the new token, and that data will be show it in a response. You can see here, this is a response. Access token, expiry time, the token type is a barrier, and scope is read write scope, and refresh token. Every time user can access that token, this is a manner. Okay, this is a way we can handle the refresh token. Okay, here we discuss now suppose we actually see the admin side also. This is a access token. If you has a see the access token, means that Sanket user has a login, and this is a token ID. That token ID is same as a here we can show it. Whenever you refresh that, that token ID will be visible. Okay, now uh, this is the token ID. In that you can see this is a user ID, a refresh token ID, and then after that application ID, and this is a date. Okay, suppose if you have no, if you first time if you create, then you can access the application, then you can hit that suppose. Okay, we can see the o dot application. Okay, and whenever you hit that, now here no application defined. Suppose if you create that application, then you can pass it any application name, and client ID and secret ID is system automatically generate. And now the client type will be has a confidential, and it is a grant type has a resource password base, and then you can save it. Okay, and that information will be stored in a application level. Okay, So first we create application. Application we will be getting to the client ID and secret ID. Okay, and here this is a client ID should be confidential and resource password. The two important thing we can note it here. The confidential and resource type will be password. Then after that you can save it. Okay, this is the first thing. First we create application. After that you can create a token. The token here we have two way we can generate it. One has a, whenever you log in you get the token ID. Suppose if you are not a system use, then you can create a postman, and in that you can R token wise you can generate a new token. Okay, only you can pass as a ID and your client ID and secret ID, three things you can pass it here. Okay, then we can see the refresh token. Here we can see the every time the new records will be created. Okay, suppose you have 5 record there and you can hit that particular record, then again the 6 record will be inserted here. Okay, you can refresh that. Okay, now here 6 record will be visible. Okay, this is a way we can access the token. Yeah, now thank you so much to watching my video. Please subscribe if you not subscribe, and share the video to all your friends and colleagues. Yeah, thank you.